Simply tell me why the poppy appeal matters to you so much, and why, by extension, it should matter to the rest of us.
To me, it matters more than ever nowadays, purely because the impact we're having by wearing a poppy, by buying a poppy, and by remembering, isn't just the generations that have passed, isn't just the generations of old. It's actually now the fact that the people we're helping are those that are my age, are those that are in their early 20s or 30s perhaps, who have come back from Afghanistan or Iraq or across the world in all sorts of conflicts. And actually, it's more important to make sure that we still remember everyone who's paid the ultimate sacrifice. And it's really important to make sure that every poppy counts, because it's such a huge cause, and it's not just those of older generations, as I said, that need our help now. It's those that are our age, it's those that are 20, 30, whatever, that really need our help to get back to a normal life, perhaps to live a good life and get the support that they need.
It's so reassuring to hear you say that, Billy. I remember there was much speculation around the time when the last of the First World War veterans were coming to the end of their lives. And there was a lot of speculation that with their passing, with the loss, with the final loss of those sentinels, the interest in remembrance would wane, because we wouldn't have that living connection to the event that inspired it in the form of the Great War. But quite the contrary, the interest and the commitment to the cause that has been shown by younger generations is nothing less than heartwarming. Do you feel a sense of, as well as I hear what you're saying about those serving today, those people of your age and a bit older, but do you feel a connection to the longer story of remembrance?
Oh, absolutely. My family, through the generations in the past, have all served in the military. And it personally, it's really important to me to remember them particularly. When I go out Remembrance Sunday every year, I wear my great-grandfather's and my great-great-grandfather's war medals, because it's such a privilege that I have the opportunity to wear them so proudly, and remember the sacrifice that they both made during world wars. But generally, across the country, it's really important to keep remembering everything that's happened, not just the First World War, like you said, but everything since. We've been in so many conflicts across the world, and peacekeeping opportunities too, not just those who are at war with everyone, but those who we're trying to bring greater good across the world. And actually, our armed forces are the ones doing that for us. Our armed forces are the ones paying so much, they're giving us so much. And Remembrance time, it is a chance for us to give them something back, in terms of being able to support them, and in terms of being able to think about them and hold them in our hearts, to say thank you very much. We really appreciate everything you do for us.
Well said, Billy. I said in the introduction about you that you were 5 when you first got involved. I mean, I'm only laughing because, I'm trying to remember being 5, and I don't remember thinking thoughts like getting involved in a project the like of which you embarked upon. Can you remember what your thinking was then? As just such
absolutely.
a little boy.
It was my nan's fault, frankly. She used to be a poppy seller up and down her street, all of 10 or 15 houses. So, and I was really interested in my family history and the military sort of thing. I used to love watching Dad's Army when I was younger, and I said I'd join her for the year, and I dressed up in a little soldier uniform, had my very worn grandfather's medals at the time pinned to my chest, and joined her on the street, and we raised £70 in the first year. And in typical young person fashion, I told my nan that I would beat that. And she kind of took it with a pinch of salt and said, sure, go on then, we'll see what we can do. And actually, we did the next year. And so I took it upon myself now to try and do as much as I can, because the cause is ever greater. The cause is really important. There's nothing greater to me than being able to support so well those that give so much to us.
So £70 or so when you were 5. How much did you collect personally on a successful or a year that you would rate as successful now?
So for me, the last time we were out in 2019, I now have a team of volunteers that help me. I try to organise poppy stands across the area that I live in, and my volunteers that are part of the team really help me. They're amazing. And between us, in the last year before we had COVID, we raised just over £30,000 between the different stands we do. And then we ran Bristol Poppy Day as well, and we raised another £26,000 in just one day.
That's extraordinary, Billy. That's absolutely extraordinary. Now, this year of all years, obviously, with a centenary coming around, and the Royals, I believe, have been paying maybe even more attention to the events than usual. Can you tell me a little bit about meeting Prince Charles? I believe that's been
yes, absolutely. Yes. So the launch the other day, I managed to meet Charles and Camilla, who were absolutely lovely. I was invited as part of the 10 poppy collectors that they'd nominated, and they'd selected one poppy collector that was born in each decade for our last 100 years as an organisation. And so it was really, really interesting to meet these poppy collectors that were born in the 1920s and 1930s that had been doing it for 70 odd years. And just to see the impact that they've made over so many years, it must be extraordinary. And I felt really privileged to be there. To have the support of public figures like Charles and Camilla is absolutely amazing. It means so much to the Royal British Legion, the fact that they're able to support us so kindly. And just to give it the prominence of the fact that we're back on the streets, we're trying to make every poppy count this year because it really, really matters to us, and it matters to everyone. But to just be there for that launch was incredible. They were so lovely and kind and quite funny people. Actually, they were really sweet.
Lovely, Billy. Do you bear with me while I turn to the panel, because I find it so inspirational. John, it's just someone so young. I don't want to, not patronising, 19 years old, but it says something, doesn't it, about a generation coming up. That someone like Billy is thinking that way and acting in that way.
Because too often we write off younger people. When I was young, it used to really annoy me, but as you get older, you begin to do it. So no, I think it's remarkable what he's doing, and a great example to other people. And the thing I hate every year, we have to have the poppy row about why doesn't this newsreader wear one, or why do they want to wear a white one, etc., etc. What matters is what Billy's doing. And as he said, those intergenerational, people doing it for 70 years who stand there. Those old boys and the old ladies, outside Morrison's, in all weathers. It is truly remarkable.
Fraser, what do you think? What do you think about hearing us out, because it's such a traditional, almost an old-fashioned approach to take that we're hearing from Billy, but it happens to be one that I absolutely applaud. But what do you think about knowing that a generation so young is coming forward thinking like that?
Yeah, and I think we do have to remember these things so that we don't repeat them. I mean, it cannot be said that the scale of the First and Second World Wars is nothing like the conflicts we have today, and everyone will have known someone who died in those conflicts. I mean, Fraser, I think we're having a bit of trouble with your microphone at the moment. But Billy, are you still with me? Are you still hearing me? Can you tell me, for example, to what use is the money put? You're talking about just the group that you look after, £50,000 odd. Where does that money go, and where does what kind of effect does that fundraising have on the lives of? It
has a huge impact, so much wider than we could all ever imagine. It's things like those that come back from conflicts and lose limbs, or have life-changing injuries, or suffer mentally from the things that they see and they experience. We have medical centres, rehabilitation centres and care centres to look after those. We have veterans of old age who suffer badly from diseases like dementia, who have specialist care homes that look after military veterans with dementia, and we fund those. People that have been away from their families for 12, 15 months because they've been on active service, who've come back and their family needs some support to regain their close bond as a unit. The Royal British Legion provide that support to allow them to do that. There are veterans who are homeless that we provide support to get homes and jobs and provide, think everything from a suit to go to an interview to paying the first month's rent on a property so that we can get them on the ladder. Anything and everything that we take for granted for living generally, the Royal British Legion provide on a day-to-day basis to hundreds of thousands of veterans who are not just 60, 70, but of all ages, of all genders, of all backgrounds from all over the world. The Royal British Legion are there to support them with everything and anything that they need.
Do you think at any point in your own future, can you imagine being more connected to the armed forces? Are you drawn in that direction yourself?
Maybe one day. I think for me, I'm very much a family person, and I really appreciate the chance to be able to do the poppy appeal like I do. And the one thing that's only ever put me off is the fact that if I joined the armed forces, I wouldn't be able to do the Poppy Pill fundraising because I'd be wherever I was in the world, or I'd get deployed for November somewhere and I couldn't do it. And I know we are struggling as an organisation for young volunteers. I know charities generally struggle for younger volunteers. And so the only thing that puts me off is that we need a wider network of people to help first before I'm able to go and do that too. I'd really love to in the future. I think it's a very moving and very important experience, and a very proud feeling to do that. But I also feel like this is a very important thing to do because those that give so much also need that support network around them as well. And I'm very proud to just be part of that support network for now.
They absolutely do, Billy, and you're an inspiration. You know, hearing you speak and hearing the heart that comes through in your sentiments. Just keep on going, and wish you all the very best with your continued efforts. And keep writing those tins and keep doing what you do for our serving men and women.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.